很高兴在节目现场呢，为您邀请到的是2022年诺贝尔和平奖得主之一的机构——乌克兰的公民自由中心。它的主席呢是一位非常优秀的年轻的一个人权律师。我们今天非常高兴在节目现场为您邀请到他来做一个跨洋的视讯访谈。Mr. Matveychuk,thank you for taking the time to talk with us. It's really an honor to have you on our program. As we know, the Ukrainian war has been going on for 1 year. Can you share any moving story you have seen or heard about the war?
Unfortunately, this war is going for 9 years already, and 1 year we have large-scale invasion. And I can share the story which I heard from my colleague. She is paramedic, and she helped people to survive in Mariupol, which was sieged by Russian troops last year. And she was captured, she was tortured, she spent several months in captivity, and then she was released. But she told that the most horrible what she ever seen in her life, it was a picture of a woman who held a baby on her arms. And when she came to look what's happened with this to people, she understood that the baby was hit with something and baby is dead. But so the mother held a dead baby on her hands, and she sat for hours in this pose and don't allow anybody to provide her to more safe place or to take off this dead baby. And my colleague told that it was the most horrible picture one she have ever seen in her life.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And how is it affect you personally?
It's very difficult because we are all human beings, and it's very difficult to be prepared for such level of atrocities which we now observe every day. But because we are all human beings, we can rely upon each other. And now a lot of people in Ukraine, like ordinary people, make extraordinary things.
And do you see the war ending anytime soon?
I can't predict future. I know that Putin don't want to stop. He don't want peace. He want to restore the Russian Empire, and this is something which is not very understandable in international community. But it's very understandable to Ukrainians. And this war has a genocidal character. Putin tells that we have no right to exist, that Ukraine is not a state, there is no Ukrainian people, Ukrainian language, Ukrainian culture. So I can't predict future, but I can tell that we will fight, because if we stop fighting, there will be no more us. Ukraine haven't got any modern plane. And it's very difficult to fight with Russia, which has a huge military potential. But people are much more powerful than any army in the world. That's why I do believe that when we get appropriate international support with modern weaponry as well, when international community impose severe economic sanctions against Russia, we stop their ability to finance this war, then war ends.
Mm-hmm. And how would you persuade President Putin to stop the war?
President Putin understands only force. It's a logic of dictatorship. If he feels weakness, he will attack. He is afraid of strength.
Mm-hmm. And how will the Nobel Peace Prize assist your organization, Center for Civil Liberties, in its work?
For many years, the voice of human rights defenders from our region wasn't heard. But civilized world continue shake Putin's hand, build a gas pipeline, make business as usual, and close their eyes to all these violations. And now Nobel Peace Prize provide the opportunity to a voice of Ukrainian human rights defenders to be tangible.
Yes. And what can Taiwan do to help Ukraine and the Ukrainian refugees?
We live in a world where a lot of things have no limitation in national borders, and freedom is one of such things. That's why I do believe that we have to support fight for freedom of each other, because only spread of freedom make our world safer.
What can people learn from the war?
That war is something horrible, and we have to create effective international system of peace and security, which can protect people against wars and authoritarian regimes. And second lesson, that peace is not achievable when country which was invaded stop fighting, because it will not be peace, it will be occupation. And the problems has to be solved, and international orders has to be restored.
So do you believe those responsible, they will someday be brought to justice?
I believe, because a lot of people do everything to make it happen. For example, we documented together with our partners 31,000 episodes of war crimes, and we are not historians. We document these crimes in order sooner or later all Russians who committed all these crimes by their own hands, as well Putin and the senior political leadership and high military command, will be brought to justice.
And thank you for taking your time. Thank you. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
华视新闻看起来，赶快订阅我们的华视新闻 YouTube 频道，欢迎按赞、订阅、开启小铃铛，最新最及时的资讯要提供给你。